Game 2 of this American League Division Series from the Oakland Coliseum on the eastern side of San Francisco Bay. And Oakland out in front 9-1 over the Minnesota Twins. Here is LaTroy Hawkins, who, as a setup man in front of Eddie Guardado, had a big year. Last year he was the closer, and after a fine first half, he faded down the stretch. So Hawkins gets his inaugural in postseason play. Meanwhile, Bobby Kelty has moved from right field over to center field, replacing Torrey Hunter, and now in right field is Denny Hawking, a Twins veteran. He's one of the old men in this ball club. Been around a while, so he gets into his first game. Hawking had been in nearly 800 regular season games for the Twins, making his first postseason appearance right now. Hawkins missing with ball one to Eric Chavez, having a big day and a big series. 3-run first inning homer, then he singled in the third, was walked intentionally in the fourth, fouled out to left field in the fifth. 2 for 3 today, 4 for 8 in the series with 5 driven in. Hawkins misses high. Hawkins throws hard.
Yes, he does. I mean, he was a power closer, and Gardenhire says that's what he likes about him. He wants a power pitcher in that setup role now.
That's a strike.
John, every time I see Dick Williams, I think about the World Series in '72 when we played him. And I was on third base. Johnny Bench was the hitter. And with 2 strikes, they act like they were going to walk him, and Raleigh Fingers threw a strike for strike 3 to get out of a jam. And that was one of the great strategy plays of that World Series. You know, I thought it was a great play by Dick Williams.
I'm sure Johnny Bench is really thrilled to have you bring
we laugh about it all the time. We laughed about it last week.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
I've heard you laugh about it. I never personally heard Johnny laugh that hard about it. It was, though. I mean, everybody in the park knew he was going to get the walk.
Yeah.
And instead, Raleigh threw the called strike right by him.
Well, I talked to Bench obviously later, and he said, even I was on third base and I was yelling at him, "Get ready! They're going to pitch to you. You're going to pitch to you." He said he heard me, but he said he couldn't hit that pitch anyway. It was a perfect pitch right over the outside corner.
Ooh, that foul got played umpire Chuck Merriweather. There's Raleigh Fingers in the Hall of Fame. Not many relief pitchers have ever made it into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's, well, they've changed the rules so many times, you know, on a save and what a save is. And we talked about how well Mark Ellis has played defensively for the A's this year, and this is another example. I mean, tough play, makes the play. Now watch this, avoids contact with Tejada, and then he throws off balance and just makes a nice play. Tejada can't get there. Ellis, now watch this, off balance throw, falling away, and a very good throw in that situation. Mabry digs it out for him. So he has played excellent defense, you know, since he became their everyday second baseman.
He's having a very fine day today. All right, the plate umpire Merriweather got a visit from the A's trainer Larry Davis. Apparently he's okay now. Chavez down on strikes, 1 away, and that'll bring up Jermaine Dye. Back in the fourth inning, Oakland blew it open. A clutch 2-out double by Tejada got the 4th run of the day home, and then David Justice, with the bases loaded, came up against Tony Fiore, and that cleaned him off. Three runs scored on the triple by David Justice, and suddenly it was a 7-0 game.
You know, when I watch Art Howe and the fact that the A's lost the first game, and, you know, if they lose today, you know, a lot of people would have written them off. And it reminds me of something, you know, Bobby Cox always says about the division series. He says kind of the roll of the dice in the division series, because it's a short series, and if you get off to a good start, you can win it. And, you know, that's been one of the things that he's talked about over the years, that, you know, 3 out of 5 is just, you know, kind of a roll of the dice, you know.
Well, for many years, after they started the league championship series, that was a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that, and then they actually didn't they have 2 out of 3 at one time? But I think they know.
No, it used to be 2 out of 3 if you finished in a tie.
Right.
For first place.
For the playoff position.
Well, no, just first place before they had divisions.
Right. That's what I mean. Before, yeah. But I mean, the point is, you know, it is a short series after playing 162 games. I mean, it really is kind of a roll of the dice. And, you know, I believe that this should be 4 out of 7. The first series should be 4 out of 7 as well. But I think to do that, as you see Billy Koch warming up in the bullpen, I think to do that, you'd have to shorten the season a little bit.
Well, I think if we're going to do that, we need to eliminate this extra round of playoffs. Well, go back and just have the 2 teams.
I agree with that, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Because what I think, if we're going to start talking about what's fair, let's start about having a second-place team make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not fair to the team that just beat them in the regular season. But I'm not complaining about it.
Good. I don't want you to complain about that, because I think the wild card is good.
If we're all going to start talking about what's fair, let's start by eliminating that, which is grossly unfair. As Dye is now out on strike. So Hawkins with 2 straight strikeouts here. As we get the view again from the Saturn Lightship, bringing you aerial coverage of today's game.
Left fielder David Justice.
The Saturn Lightship from high above the Oakland Coliseum today. We're always extremely pleased to have them with us.
Well, one thing that we're seeing there is LaTroy Hawkins is just what Gardenhire said. He could blow guys away. And I like the fact, again, here he's giving him a chance to come into a game so that his first time coming in wouldn't, you know, trying to get to the closer wouldn't be the first time he's appeared in the series. I think the one thing most managers should do, try to get all of their important guys into the game as quickly as possible, into the series as quickly as possible.
Change up to Justice misses. But let me go back to this game, this best-of-5 thing.
Yeah.
From a fan standpoint, it's exciting. Game 1 is very important, and Game 2 is critical for the team that lost Game 1. So you might not get to that kind of a critical game in a best-of-7 until Game 4.
Correct.
And you might never get to it in a best-of-7. You know, if the one team wins 3 in a row. The inning is over. Strong inning for Hawkins. Now Koch is going to get his first postseason experience.